Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo by DC Comics Black Label by Marc Silvestri and Arif Prianto, book one. So this is one of these newer comics that I've talked about, and the only reason that I just picked this up is Marc Silvestri because, as maybe some of you know, DC Comics when it comes to sales, it's not that good, and I believe they are being desperate now. So they bring up the old guns, from back in the day when comics were actually fun, the 90s. Marc Silvestri, and he actually drew Batman. And I believe DC Comics is also now doing something with Todd McFarlane, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, let's dive in if it's actually good. Well, from the first glance, when it comes to art, it's top notch. Marc Silvestri is one of the best, detail creators around, since the 90s. And it's everything he touches, it turns out great when it comes to art. No digital bullshit, just all hand drawn, lots of hatching. For those who do not know what hatching is some kind of a technique. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. If that's the case, well, probably not here, but I'm going to show you a little bit later. But it's all, when detail has been drawn in, and there's different hatching techniques. You can look it up on Google if you know exactly what it actually is. What makes the art better, in my opinion. Not always. It's if you overuse it, it's become way too dark. Anyway, so let's dive in. So we see Harley Quinn here. She is trapped, I guess, in some kind of a hole, and this creature is talking to her. And there's rats here, and she's basically threatening him that, she's waiting for the Joker. And so I believe this is not canon, maybe an alternate timeline or an Elseworlds comic, if you will. And when the Joker comes, they're gonna make out and then carving this guy up and, feed it to the rats and all that stuff. Typical Harley Quinn style. So, but we leave Harley here for now. And then we go to, somewhere else, and it's called the Bowery. So there is a murder, and we see Harvey Bullock here. And so speaking of hatching, see all these lines, and here as well, that's hatching. That's great. Like I said, no empty square blocks like digital artists are using in modern comics. Not all digital artists, but a lot, just has some squares here, some squares. It's all aligned the same. It looks empty. It looks boring. But this, it looks gothic. It's all hand drawn. It looks great. There's a murder, and the murdered person is an ex-cop, and they found some evidence, and Batman is here too. It seems that the ex-cop was also a how do you say? Let's say he put up a fight, and his head is missing, and the signal. Well, people saw the person who came out of the building, and it seems that they have green hair, white skin, and something. He carries something that looks like a bowling ball. Well, this person has no head anymore, so you can imagine what it probably was. And so Harvey says to Batman that the cop was an ex-SWAT expert shooter. Hard to believe he could miss at this range, and Batman says he didn't. So it seems that the cop has some kind of a magnum gun, and it actually hit the target, and they found some bone fragments or something like that. And we can see also here this, in blood. And then Batman does what Batman does. He's going to disappear. And but before we move on, this is what modern comics are doing as well, wasting time and pages by making everything black and just scribble on it later. I mean, it's just wasting pages, man. Come on, I'm paying for this. I don't need this, I've been talking, with other comics about this issue as well. It irritates me a lot, and it's just not worth it. Anyway, so there's also some crooked cops, and Batman knows that. And like this here, like this guy, he's called, I believe, Baxter, and he's, I don't know, some maybe a commander or a chief. I'm not sure what his role is. And so Batman says that there are good guys, like Harvey Bullock and Gordon, but there's also people like Baxter here. Is it Baxter? Let me double check. I'm not sure. I believe Baxter or something like that. Bix, something with a B. Anyway, and he deliberately, flying a little bit lower to, that this is happening, to irritate him. So yeah, this looks good, man. This looks really good. Meanwhile, and again, look at this. It's doing it again. Wasting my time, wasting precious paper on this kind of bullshit. We also see Catwoman for a moment, so she's probably coming back in the next couple of issues. I'm not sure how many there is. I mean, 3, I guess, maybe more, maybe less. Well, at least 3. And we also get a glimpse of the new Batmobile, which looks awesome. Anyway, so Batman doing his Batman shtick, and he is look at this environment, man, and his background looks so cool. Anyway, so he accidentally find the perpetrator, who looks like the Joker, but it's not. What it is, I don't know. But he uses the car's, how do you say, bolas to apprehend him. And these bolas are so strong that they can catch a hypersonic jets, when they land on an airborne carrier. This creature just breaks out of like it was nothing. Look at this, man. It looks so cool. So yeah, they engage in combat. But immediately Batman knows that he is out of his class because this creature does take punches a lot. He's fast, he's strong, and he's fighting for his life. And he's trying to, get out of his grip. He managed to do that, but he's getting thrown away by this creature. And then, he takes off with the head because somehow it seems important to that creature. And then Batman uses his Batman technology like James Bond that I always liked. I love his gadgets. And he has something new that I haven't seen before. He's called them, vampires. So they are basically bat drones that can, I don't know, zap people. So a lot of high voltage stuff. And then this creature is still smoking. And then the cops are coming. But before that, he hears, anyway, the narrative says of Batman in his head probably, Gotham PD would be happier if it was me lying here on the ground. I work outside the system, no official clearance, no oversight to monitor my actions. I don't follow any form of due process. Clean cops fear me because I don't follow rules they swore an oath to. And dirty cops fear me because they know one day I'll come for them. And Commander Wild Bill Bennett. So yeah, it's a B, but it's not B or Bax. So Bill Bennett is one of these crooked cops. He's an asshole. And Batman says, well, he's one of those guys that he's come for one day. But then Batman says, hey, the area is not secure. Keep your man back. But Bill is a little bit stubborn, and he says, last morning, Batman, back off, you're going down too. And Batman says, you got civilians gathering, Bennett. The area is not secure. So he is ordering his men to disperse the crowd and, taking the cell phones for, evidence. And then one of these, his, squad members are, going to this creature here, and this creature stands up, snaps his neck, and flees with the head. And he is running into a dead end, but he is breaking through the wall because, this part of a town is, cheap buildings, etc. There's no really, maintenance going on with these buildings. So this is happening. Electricity, sparks, fuel, the deal. And Batman, intervenes, and then there's a giant explosion, gas leaks, etc. So that the people are pointing fingers at the Major, the police force, Batman, and Bill Baxter here. is Blim or Bill William Bennett. Bennett Baxter. Why am I saying Baxter? Is it Baxter? No, it's Bennett. Why am I saying Baxter? Baxter was from the other one. From the other comic with Deathstroke that I reviewed earlier. That was stupid. Anyway, Batman just blames Batman. So he has some damage, some fractured hairline or something. So he needs to, take a couple of days off. But, Bruce is Bruce. And he's, finding evidence and talks about what's wrong. I also like the fact that every time we see the Batcave looks different. I don't know, the layout looks different, the computers, the monitors, it always looks different. And I like that at some point. I don't know, it's just surprised me a little bit. Anyway, Bruce says, evidence from the first crime scene suggests the killer took at least a grazing shot to the head, yet when I fought him later, there was no visible wound. And Alfred says, accelerated healing ability, perhaps? Possibly. But there was no blood on his face, on his clothes, and I doubt this particular killer would take the time to freshen up between murders. The killer's body was never found. I need to get back to the explosion site. Anyway, and so they are matching up DNA samples between Joker and this creature. And Bruce wonders how the DNA can be transferred from the Joker into somebody who is unstoppable. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Meanwhile, there is in the Batcave, here's a sound. And on the rooftop, where the bat signal is, there is normally Commissioner Gordon and even to a couple of cops are allowed or to handle that bat signal. But, Commissioner Gordon's gone fishing, I guess, and the other ones are not there. So there's a package, and Bruce, or Batman, uses his vampire drone to analyze it with, X-ray vision, etc., spectral analysis. And he found something. Look at this detail, man, on his back. This looks so great. Anyway, he found, according to him, the appendectomy appears recent. So is that the appendix? I'm not sure what the English word is. Removed from the body. Appendix, is that how you say it? Or appendix? Appendix, I believe. Anyway, if that's the case. Formerly property of Jim Gordon. And then Joker is here. And he says, hiya, Bats. Okay, Bats, why I'm saying Bats. Batman takes him and he threatens them to kill him if he doesn't say where, Jim is. But, Joker says, hey, we've done this before. We've known each other for years. You're not going to do that. And he says, I need your help with something. And, Batman ties him up. And Joker says, my situation is that somebody has taken what's belonged to me and I want it back. So basically he needs Batman to help him with that. And he says, hey, forget about the tire dynamic duo crap. We could be the deadly duo. Come on, partner. We're time wasting. And he's spitting in his hand to seal the deal. And Batman raises his hand, for spitting in it. And then he spits in his face. And so they are, he also breaks his hand. So they are going to be having an alliance with each other. And then we see here a little bit farther away these things. And then we have more black pages. God, I hate that. So is it good? Well, I like the art. I like this. I like this a lot. The black and white. It's great stuff. I'm a little bit on the fence. I'm not saying it's bad. It certainly piques my interest, but it seems that they are not really know what to do with the Joker anymore. Because I remember Joker stories that are actually, good. And I know you cannot always hit a home run, but I miss the building up. I miss Batman comics building up a storyline and then have a big reveal that is actually interesting. And then from that interesting point, moving the parts until the big climax, and then when the story is over. But Joker is overused, and but because we have seen him in TV shows and in films, they did a lot of with Joker in the past. Like Joker fatigue, just like with, I don't know, Deadpool fatigue or Wolverine fatigue. There's so much of these characters. They need to lock him away for a couple of years, and maybe they did. I'm not sure because I don't buy modern comics anymore. But yeah, overall, I'm intrigued. I got issue 2 here lying around, and we'll see if it's good. For now, I'll leave it here. Let me know what you think about this comic, guys. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel and all that jazz. And I see you next time, also known as tomorrow. Bye.